Hello, world. My name is Ross Berman in Los Angeles. This is International Art Alliance with Palimpsest Art and Beyond. We're live. Not really live, we're recording, but we're all living.
We're alive.
We're alive. And we've got a great project that we're working on where we're sending actual artwork around the world to each other. Every one of us works on this a painting and then literally mails it to each other until we have something that's completely different, unexpected, nothing that we would have come up with on our own. And like I would do something and then I'd send it to Rose Williams in British Columbia, Canada. Hi, Rose. How you doing today?
Hi, I'm in Stolo territory here in British Columbia, and I work with botanicals. And then we have Denise.
Hello, I'm Denise. I'm located in Saint Jerome, a little bit outside of Montreal, and we're also working together with Lara.
Hi, I'm Lara. I'm Italian, but I'm living in the UK, and I paint portrait and abstract, and I give it to Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I'm here in Toronto, Canada, and I paint portraits and other things. And I enjoy working with these guys. And hi, Cheryl.
Hi, I'm Cheryl here in Australia, and I'm an impressionistic landscape painter. Back to you, Rose.
Yeah, last time we had a lively discussion about expressive arts therapy and how I sort of integrated into my artwork and my life and my belief system and my values. And we realized that there were some parallels between what I do as an expressive arts therapist and what Ross does with his Jewish studio process. So we thought we'd ask Ross a little bit more about how you incorporate the Jewish studio process with the people that come to you to do it with you.
Oh, thank you. How exciting. So now the Jewish studio process, it's not like I didn't invent this. This was a gift from Rabbi Adina Allen in the Bay Area in Berkeley. And the Jewish Studio Project is a really fast growing expression of like an outpouring of, I'm getting all these words wrong. I don't even know where these are coming from.
Words are hard, man.
What I mean to say is, so Adina's mother is Dr. Pat Allen, who is a quite renowned expressive arts therapist, and she started the Open Studio Project in Chicago. And so when Adina was in rabbinical school, she was noticing that there was a need to have a more expansive kind of a spiritual practice that didn't just rely on, words alone, which is how many Jewish practices are, prayer and whatnot, and text study. But that having an expressive form, also singing, that's another thing that a lot of Jewish people do. But this became something really new and different. And so across, especially across the United States, it's really starting to take off. I became a facilitator in 2020 I also work with my wife, Ann Borer, and we facilitate the Jewish Studio process together. And we just love it. It's just an amazing kind of thing. So it's grounded in ideas from our great tradition from Torah, and it's literally all about every person is creative. Like how can we democratize all of our creativity, right? It's like it's already in us, in that God, if you will, has created everybody in God's image, so we're all creative. It's just like a 1-2 punch there, and how we do the studio process is we read some text and then we have like a group study. That's a pretty traditional way to look at text. But then we make art, and it's not like we're making an illustration of the text or making an illustration of what we just talked about. It's an expressive arts thing, like what Rose was talking about last week. Something comes out of us, you just start making marks, and then next thing you know, you've got like a pattern or scribbles or flowers. Or now for me, I'm just getting all kinds of stuff. I have realizations about everything when I'm doing this, and then I get ideas for new pictures. So for instance, I'll give you an idea. I facilitated a session the other day, and it was about this Jewish process called teshuvah, which means to turn, to turn and return. And it's the process that we involve ourselves with for the high holy days that come up, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And it's a process of forgiveness, asking for forgiveness, reflecting on how the year has gone, and what we'll do in the new year. But really, it's about interacting with each other wherever it is that we've kind of failed. And then it's a way to get back into integrity with oneself and others. So then the picture that I ended up doing, we had a big discussion about this. I think there were 7 people for this 2 hours. And in the portion of study where we were looking at definitions of teshuvah, of this return, and the picture I came up with was, look, it's just like a bunch of scribbles, really. But like it then formed something.
Yeah.
Because I tend to do that anyways. I'm a more narrative kind of artist. But I never saw it before, that this was like kind of like karma as a spiritual practice, as a way of looking at how you might okay, let me put it this way. In that karma is a way of stopping you or reminding you or putting yourself in a position where you can see how your causes can create effects.
Yeah, how your actions have consequences.
How your actions have consequences. Thank you, Rose. In doing this picture, I saw how teshuvah, this idea of return, it's kind of like karma, except you're not waiting for the next life to be reincarnated. You're clearing it up right, well, not like right now. You're still within the year, but but I never even saw that there was like for me, it was a feeling connection, like it was connected. Like, oh, that's like kind of the same thing, except handling it in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
So, like that's just one of the gifts that I get, and I get so many gifts from doing this. And
it's like a light bulb moment, essentially.
Every time, it's really, it's a really different kind of thing. And I know I've just like kind of blabbed on and probably said a lot of things. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer. I don't really feel like I'm very lucid today. I'm talking.
It sounds like you're describing something that starts off as a spiritual seeking, as a spiritual, grounded in a spiritual practice that you are expanding by using the visual arts to sort of hold as a vessel for that spiritual exploration, it sounds like. Is that what
Boy,
you guys
Rose,
are doing?
you know, you always say, you,
She does.
doesn't she? I mean, like,
Yeah,
oh
you really
boy.
capture things very well.
Yeah.
So do you. So do you, though, Ross. You both do, actually.
Yeah, well,
You
I
both do.
sputter like half the time, and she just like gets. Yes, Rose. In fact, one of the things that we say, like at the beginning of almost every session that I facilitate, I say, you know, this really can hold whatever it is that you bring. If your heart is breaking, if you're joyous, what you know, whatever it is that's going on in your life, and also what's beautiful about it, because it's this kind of expressive arts therapy, you don't have to talk, right? We talk about the text, you know, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
I mean, we sometimes we just look at a poem. It's a Jewish approach to looking at the poem. It's not like it's a Jewish poem, although
Right.
we do look at Jewish texts too. So, and then what comes out of that is like, yeah, it's you can't even imagine. Literally, you can only do it and then see it. I think, Rose, is that kind of what you've seen with?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And as I say, it's like you guys are tapping into using visual arts in this instance as your tool, as your vessel to be the container for all of these thoughts and feelings that are stirred up through your process, and also because you guys are coming together, right? It's a collective experience. It's not an individual experience. So of course, we all know when we have a collective experience, it expands the sensation, the impact of that exploration or that process. And it also sounds to me like you guys are really just kind of tapping into the ancient shaman role of the artist.
Oh, it really feels that way too.
May I ask
So what
you,
material?
sorry.
Go, Laura.
Everyone has
Oh,
a question now.
No,
So,
I was
Ross,
wondering how you prepare yourself before the if did you know the what you are going to read to study, and do you prepare also the material, the your tools to how is the preparation before this?
Yeah, Laura, I'll prepare a study sheet. Which is
Nice.
a kind of a traditional way to go about a Jewish text
Torah
study.
study.
Like
Yeah.
it's a thing called Beit Midrash, a house of study, a house of inquiry, and so we're creating like a little house of inquiry, and then we have questions um, based on what we've read, and very often, like if you're if you're in a Jewish school setting, the questions are really about, you know, the ethics of whatever it is, and how did that come to, how did this way of thinking come to be about that, and
Analysis.
analysis. See, roses keep, and
My stepmom is Jewish. I'm an honorary Jew.
but the kind of questions that we ask in creating a study sheet for the Jewish studio process is it's really generative. Like we design the questions to be truly expansive.
Right.
You know, like about much more about how you might feel, and then what other like you know what other ways in what other times have you seen this happen in your life, and
So you sort of start exploring the sensation more than the intellect aspect of the reading.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But that's very powerful.
yeah, yeah. It's a very holographic experience, you know, and okay. So as I mentioned, we have, speaking of the holographic experience, I mentioned we have these foundational ideas that are grounded in our wisdom, our tradition. Um, you know, like we're all created to be we're all, yeah, created to be creative. Um, we take a journey into the unknown. They're all out of that comes out of the idea that Abraham, you heard of Abraham? he left his father's house, who was an idol maker, as the story goes, to go. He didn't know where he was going to go. He was just like, go. And it's like, okay, I'm out of here. And so isn't that what we do as artists? We take these journeys into the unknown. Into the unknown. It's like, that's like what we do. That's like our stock and trade, right? And if we don't do that, like, how's the art going? It's like, oh, it's okay.
Ross, in a way, that's what equips us to become to do like your Jewish studio process, or me as an expressive arts therapist, because all I am is a guide or a companion along that exploration of the unknown with my clients. That's all I am. I'm just because I'm an artist, so I'm accustomed to going into the unknown. So I'm like a guide who knows the jungle that you hired to go into the jungle with you, so that you don't get lost.
Yeah.
So, Ross, question about again about the process. So the art that comes out of this, would you say that it is your personal reaction to the text that is being shared?
Stephanie, that's a very, very good question. I'm going to have to hedge it a little bit.
Sure.
Okay, it can be.
I wouldn't know if you were lying or not, so you can say whatever you want.
like it can be. It may or may not have anything to do with the text.
Gotcha. It's sort of whatever's in you at the time that you need to release.
Or what comes out in the group.
Or what comes out in the group. Like it could be from the discussion has sparked something.
Yeah.
It could just be tangential.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it could also be completely like not even, or it could be completely related. Like what I was talking about, the karma
right.
thing.
Okay.
And so so there are, I don't know, like 5 stages or 5, I don't know, acts, I'll call them, that we go through in the process. And one of them is in writing an intention. So we have a study, and then you write an intention, and the intention that you write may or may not have anything to do with what you just discussed or just read. But the most important thing is that you write it down, and then before you go into art making, you forget all about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I have so many questions. First of all, this sounds super intense. I'm wondering, like, what's your time frame for a session like that? Because there's reading, there's studying, there's questions, there's discussing, there's writing intentions, and then there's making art. Like, that seems like a lot.
There's even more. There's even more. Wait, that's not all.
Yeah.
My wife and I were doing 2-hour online sessions now, and when we have more people, we'll also have breakout rooms, because it's Zoom. We can do breakout rooms, and it's a perfect amount of time.
Yeah, 2 facilitators. You're both facilitating.
Yeah, but that's just like, it's more like, you say this and then you say this kind of thing, to make sure it's all covered. But easily, I mean, either one of us could do it. It would still just take 2 hours. It's not
right.
That division of labor doesn't change the time so much.
But is it super structured, those 2 hours?
Well, it's structured in that it's a methodology, right? So it's a process, and it does have, these are the steps of this process.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, it's like any structure, but like many structures, that's how you get all this freedom out of it, right? Like the discussion that you have is, you could do the same study. We can use the same study sheet, depends on who comes. It's like we're going to have completely different discussion based on all that same, those same ideas, or, not really data points, but.
Because as you said, it's generative as opposed to analysis.
Yeah.
It sounds fascinating, Ross. And I think
It
that
does.
people who will get the opportunity to take part in this really get a special experience.
It's
Speaking
pretty
of the
wonderful.
people,
I'd really love for you guys to come one day. I'll do one just for us.
We should do that.
yeah, I was
Really
wondering,
fun.
is this something? Speaking of the people that do this, because we are not Jewish. Are the people that come to your studio process all Jewish, or are there people from all over? Are they all artists, or no? Or
No, in fact, artists are occasionally, I mean, other people have experiences, I haven't, that artists are very, very hard to work with. It's not really that artists are hard to work with, right? It's that
It's like
artists
having a doctor in the hospital.
we have ways of our own ways of doing things and our own idea about how
Methodology.
using materials means this and that's how it's so yeah, like the doctor in the hospital, Rose. But I when was it? April, May, or early June, I led a facilitation for the Christian Ecumenical Council of America, I think.
Wow.
So I don't know, there were 75 people online, and
Wow.
no one is Jewish.
Wow.
They're all different brands of social activist Christian denominations.
so if there are people out there who are watching this who would like to try this, how do they get in touch with you? How do they?
We have an Eventbrite page that you can go through, and it's got the listing, and you just click on that. And
What's it called?
no, it's under oh gosh, ask me my phone number.
Send us a link. Send us a link, and we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, drop a link.
Thank you.
Drop a link.
Yes,
link.
we'll put a link in the show notes.
It's called Creating Circles. We call them creating circles. But also everything's in flux right now. And then also I have a real studio, and people come and we get together and do it in real life.
IRL.
Yeah.
So do they bring their own
IRL.
materials, Ross, or do you just supply like a table with just choose whatever you like a smorgasbord?
Smorgasbord. I love a good smorgasbord, like a buffet. Well, when we're in the studio, we supply everything, and we like paint, like tempera paint, like 30 different colors of tempera paint.
Nice.
It's just so smooth and juicy, and but then I also have lots of color pencil and crayon and like pretty much everything else. But when we're online, of course, people have their own material.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So it sounds to me like it's anybody who is a spiritual seeker would be interested in this process.
I think so.
Very cool.
Very cool.
And also people that aren't spiritually seeking, but maybe they're just looking for something different.
Curious.
Different.
Yeah.
Curious.
Yeah. It sounds like fun, but also fulfilling.
Yeah.
And like any practice, the more you do it, the better it gets.
So if anybody out there is spiritual or art curious, you should check out Ross's studio process.
Yeah, it sounds fascinating and wonderful. And thank you so much, Ross, for sharing those a deeper look at what you guys were doing, you and your wife together. It sounds not just fascinating, but also like you're fulfilling a need. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so touched that you guys were open to me to talk about this today. It just seemed like such a flow from what we talked about, Rose, with your presentation last week. It was like, oh boy, this is like really, and isn't this the time, I think, where everybody's so stressed out and
Yes.
I don't feel stressed.
You don't feel stressed?
Stress? What's that?
Good.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good.
I wish I was in your shoes.
Mother's in a home. I'm good.
Now you're
That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad, Cheryl.
Sorry?
Your life.
Oh,
is
was she
starting-
safe? Was she safe? I don't, get these, these desperate phone calls and all this stuff. I'm just saying,
Oh, that's a real
Well,
waste.
I think we can
Yeah,
add
good
some
for you.
stress to Cheryl's life, because I see there's a box there behind her.
Oh, Cheryl, would you
yeah.
please?
And what you're going to have
Oh, yes.
figure out.
Got
That
a
won't
box.
stress Cheryl out.
Oh, I'll go this way. I'll bring everything over with me. And voila.
Beautiful mountain pack, tight and strong box.
Oh, yeah. What are you, box cutter already done. And the
Oh.
Titan Strong box. This one is looking really, really good. None of the corners it hasn't been dropped on its corners, this one.
Sweet. These boxes are really holding
Yeah.
up to the test
Yeah.
so far. Really.
They really have.
And the
Yep, they're
beautiful
great.
sort of eggshell thing.
Do we know how many trips
we've got
this
a
this box has had?
How many what?
How many trips this
Trips
box has
3?
done?
Three
3?
Maybe
shippings.
more. Ta-da! Okay.
Oh, I think
shall
I know
turn
which
it
one
around?
that is.
It has had, 2.
3. Oh yeah, two trips,
Started at Stephanie, went to Ross, and
now to you.
And now it's come like right across the world. And it only took a few days, didn't it, Ross? A week?
Shipped at FedEx.
It went really
It took
fast.
long to get to me.
Yeah, it was fast.
Yeah.
Wow!
Oh, wow! Oh, wow! What a great... Who put the palm trees there?
That was
That is awesome.
Amazing! Wow! Ross, I love it.
That is
I
so
love it.
cool.
I love that you did that. That looks so
Yeah.
good. Wow.
What did you use, Ross, to paint them?
Is it write something?
I think I used acrylic and gel.
Oh.
They look
I might have
awesome.
used some. I used some dry pastel
Uh-huh.
in the background.
Okay. Like the yellowish?
Yeah, the yellowish and the
Yeah.
bluish. And
Oh yeah,
then,
she blew.
That's
um,
gorgeous.
the rest of it was what did I just say? Acrylic.
Acrylic?
Beautiful.
Ross, that's so creative. So creative.
Yeah,
I would have
beautiful.
not thought to have done that to that painting,
Well,
obviously.
When I got so Stephanie did the orange and both pinks, and it also has some dots, in it.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
she wrote this amazing passport, the intention and her documentation, and it was like it was really it wasn't so much like a challenge, like, oh, this is hard. It was like there was so much there.
It was rich.
It was so rich, and I just really needed to handle it in a way that was going to, that I could
Make it richer.
make it richer and feel it and give it back.
It's gorgeous.
Was it something about opposites or balance or something like that? I honestly I don't remember.
Okay,
I
now
don't remember. And if you don't remember, that's okay too.
I just remember
It's
that.
going to be a sweet reminder when you finally read it again.
Yeah. I don't remember at all.
So do you have ideas?
Your own genius.
What's that, Denise?
Cheryl, do you have ideas?
Me, yeah. This has
ideas.
got a lot of fun. I don't know. It's got a lot of fun. I mean, it's
Oh
so
my
many
God,
things.
I can't wait for the Cheryl touch on
Me
this.
too.
I mean, even because of this, I mean, I was thinking about your bikes, and I was thinking about, I don't know, people at a cafe, and then there were cars along here, and then you could go right down the back of the street. I don't know. It's got a lot of potential.
Wow.
It has a lot of
That
potential.
sort of thing of looking out.
Oh,
That's amazing, Cheryl, that you would say all that.
Exciting.
Wait till you
I
read
know
the things that Stephanie wrote and the things that I wrote. It's
Yeah.
gonna.
that I can't
Yeah.
remember at all.
Yeah. This is going to be so much fun to work on, you guys. I can't wait.
Wow, that looks great, Ross.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And so that'll be
It's gorgeous.
3. Yeah, okay. It is, isn't it? It is interesting. And it has this sort of this checkered, this checkered piece, which is sort of coming through here like
Yeah.
this. And then
It's from
it also has this other textured piece here, which looks like sparkles or sand or something like that, which is being put into it. And it's also got some texture on the actual palm trees, and you can sort of see some of that. And then down at the bottom, you've also got these textured pieces here. These sorts of areas also here. Yeah. And then you've got this very light spray part, and the orange is also this spray like a grid. Yeah.
Yeah, from the barbecue vegetable pan that we don't use anymore.
Yeah.
Vegetable
Don't give away
griller.
your
You know?
secrets. People will be like trying to figure out that texture.
I was trying to figure it out. I had no idea. I'm like, every time I'm like touching it, I'm like, oh, I have no idea how this was done. This was incredible. So cool. And
Now everyone's.
I bought these. I bought these really great placemats that are like that, and they've got these sort of strange like cutouts. And part of the reason why I bought them was because I thought, oh, I could use little spray stuff over them. Paint over them.
Totally. Yeah.
They're gold. They're actually gold.
Art material.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, isn't it? Making up your own sort of like textures and stuff.
It is. It's more personal.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. Wow. What a difference. What a metamorphosis. Now, so Ross, did I send it to you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
So
Ross.
Cheryl's going to be the third.
long
I
time.
see.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct. So that was only
But look, it's beautiful.
Yeah, this was the second trip that it made, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, thank you, Master Pack, because
Yeah.
Yeah, fabulous.
lovely condition.
And the box looks absolutely fabulous. And I'm always so amused at how much tape. I was a HSC school, high school certificate marker, and one of our biggest problems was that our students would tape everything up so much, and especially their sculptures, they would actually break them because of the amount of tape that they would put around them. And the actual undoing of the tape was always, because it was always so tight. And anyway, so interesting. Yeah. How much tape we use, guys. Come on. This one was all right. But I think Denise's was, oh my God.
Wow, what a lovely episode today, guys. I'm really kind of uplifted after talking about Ross's process and seeing this amazing thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Awesome.
So much fun to spend time together.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Good to have you back, Laura.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Good to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to have you back.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a long
missed
trip. Okay.
We'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
Bye.
See you next
Bye.
week. Bye.
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 Guys.